Hey guys, welcome back. So today is a range day for me. I usually work 7 days a week. Monday through Friday I work, and that's on my day job. On the evenings and the weekends, that's when I do the Military Arms Channel stuff and the Bang Switch, which is our blog. So I don't get a whole lot of time to actually come out and just do a range day. I usually have 1 day a week that I'll shoot video, and that's a review, and then 1 day to shoot guns. And sometimes that gets consumed by family time. So I really struggle to find time in the evenings and on the weekends to come out and just do a whole day of shooting, and that's what I'm doing this afternoon, and I'm bringing you guys along. I hope you don't mind. So there's no review today. Not really, anyway. So what I'm testing out this afternoon is a sight. As you guys know, I've been trying to find the perfect sight for my Flat Dark Earth FDE Tavor, and this is what I have so far. If you follow me on the Bang Switch, I posted some pictures of this thing. It's a Elcan SpecterDR. It's a 1:4 power optic. It's illuminated, has a dot and a reticle that's illuminated. Has range-finding reticle, all sorts of cool stuff. It has a BDC built for 5.56 and the M4 rifle. And it's a beast. It's big, as you can tell. But I've tried just about everything else, all the EOTech aim points, all that stuff, and so I was just struggling to find something else. Now, I've always known about the SpecterDR, but the reason I've avoided it is because it is expensive. This thing costs over $2,000, so it costs more than the rifle that it's setting on. In the long-range world, that's not that big of a deal. The long-range guys will always, no, not always, but oftentimes will go out and buy a sight that costs more than the gun that it's mounted to. In the fighting rifle world, that's kind of a tough pill to swallow for myself included, so this was my last resort. My local gun shop became a dealer for for Elcan, and they picked up this DR. I handled it, fell in love, thought, what the heck, let's give it a try. It's a big sight, 1 pound 9 ounces, but seems to balance well, nice on the rifle. It's not overly heavy, given where it sits. The weight of the Tavor's back here. But that's just what I want to find out. I want to find out how it stacks up against sights like the CMR and other more conventional optics that have 1:4 power capability. So anyway, that's why I'm out here. I'm dragging you guys along. I hope you don't mind the video. So let's do a little bit of shooting. I carry my Tavor in an Eagle bag that's somewhat nondescript, but due to its color, it can be identified as a rifle bag by a layman, I suppose. The bag uses 2 adjustable Velcro straps to hold the rifle in place, and the accessory compartment is spacious. It holds 4 magazines, a cleaning kit, and other necessities you might find useful in the field. The first thing I needed to do was zero the SpecterDR. I brought out a variety of ammo that I was lucky enough to slowly accumulate over the last few weeks. I picked up some Fiocchi 69 grain match ammo, some PMC X-Tac 62 grain 5.56 spec ammo, and of course I had some Wolf 223 on hand. I'll typically use the Wolf to get the rounds on paper, then move to the more expensive ammo for the fine adjustment. The Fiocchi ammo cost me $27 for 20 rounds, which isn't something I can afford to shoot a whole lot of. The reason why I come out here and weed whack so much is because of this stuff right here. Those things are straight out of Hades, man, and the property is covered with it. There's little tiny thistles on there that cut through denim, heavy clothing, whatever, and it feels like somebody's sticking a red hot pin in your skin. Nasty stuff, and it just itches you all darn day if you get it on you. So that's why I cleared this path with the weed whacker today, and so I can avoid that. I still have to contend with all the mosquitoes out here. All right, you can see that tree that fell across my 100-yard line. All right, so now we got an 8-shot group. The original 3. Here's this. Definitely an inch there with this flyer. 2 inches. But most of the rounds landing there within an inch or so. Not too bad. The next thing I wanted to do was to confirm that the zero didn't shift when I switched the sight from 1 power to 4 power. With a simple throw lever, you can change the magnification of the SpecterDR. It's one of the most unique features about the sight. Spot on. This is a challenge target stake and shoot. I'm going to stick this out here just shy of 100 yards in this high spot. All you got to do is put this thing on the ground and step on it. Gives you a steel target. Pretty handy. Hitting the 8-inch stake and shoot challenge target with the Elcan SpecterDR at 90 yards proved to be very easy. The dot's only 1.5 MOA in size when the scope is set to 4 power. While it's not a reticle intended for extreme precision, it works very well with the Tavor and the type of shooting the rifle is intended for. I also found the red dot illumination to be very handy. If you guys watched my video on the 5-minute trigger job for the Tavor, I wanted to let you know that the rifle is still functioning perfectly with the reset spring removed. I've had no reset failures with the rifle after having fired hundreds of rounds with the rifle in this configuration. The trigger breaks at less than 7 pounds and makes precision shots with the Tavor much easier. While the Elcan SpecterDR looks big, and at 1 pound 9 ounces it sounds heavy, it's really not much heavier than a sight like the Hilux CMR with a LaRue SBR 1.5 QD mount. The Elcan is actually quite a bit shorter than a conventional optic like the CMR. The Elcan also has a much wider field of view and a brighter sight picture. I think it looks right at home on the Tavor. I fired the Tavor from the standing, kneeling, and seated positions as well as off the bench to test the accuracy. I fired about 500 rounds today using a mixture of ammo. I'm not only evaluating the Elcan sight, but I'm also continuing to evaluate the Tavor itself. Why am I spending so much time with the Tavor and being so selective about optics? Well, that's because I'm considering it as my primary rifle. But I have a lot of testing to do before I make such a decision. So far I'm liking the Elcan SpecterDR on the Tavor. Now it is a big sight. The thing weighs 1 pound 9 ounces and you know, it's a good size sight. You can see it on the rifle. It's a good looking sight though. It has backup sights here on the top. Over here you can select your illumination right there. You can illuminate just that center dot, or you can illuminate the entire reticle. The entire reticle illumination is not daylight visible. It works good at low light. It's a bit splotchy though. I would like to see a little bit more even illumination on the entire reticle, but it's not very good there. But the red dot in the center illuminates brilliantly during the day, so even in the brightest of sunlight, it doesn't wash out. And the battery is also inside this knob, so I'm really liking that. I also like the fact that right here is the lever that you can select between 1 and 4 power. It's not a true 1 power. When you put the front sight up and you select 1 power, it blurs out the sight. You're not going to be able to use backup sights through the sight itself, so it's not a true 1 power. But set at 1 power with that illuminated dot, it's just as good as a red dot sight. You can use both eyes open, has a great field of view. It's really impressive once you look through the optics, nice and clear. When you switch it to 4 power, it has a range-finding reticle. You can pick out a man-sized target and range them. Has holdovers all the way out to 1,000 meters, which is obviously a bit optimistic for something like the Tavor. But again, that only works on the 4 power. It's still present at the 1 power, but the holdovers and stuff aren't accurate. It's only accurate at 4 power. At least that's my understanding. So anyway, I like it. The Tavor, it doesn't really change the balance of the rifle. The weight of the Tavor is back here, so this heavy sight is just behind the pistol grip. So it's still, you can keep it in your shoulder forever. It doesn't really change the balance of the rifle whatsoever. It feels really good. So I'm liking it. I really am. I think the optics are definitely top grade. I mean, so clear. That dot, the center dot's about 1.5 MOA at 100 yards. When it's set to 4 power, it's about 6 or 7. No, it's even bigger than that at 1 power. I have most of that information actually on a blog post at the Bang Switch. If you swing by the Bang Switch at www.thebangswitch.com, I have more information. I'll put a link in the description below about this site as I'm evaluating it for the Tavor. If you guys have any other questions, you can also ask those questions on the Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/militaryarms. Hope you guys enjoyed coming out this afternoon, hanging out with me on the range. If you like this type of video, just let me know. Post something in the comments and I can do more of them. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you guys soon.